you have to balance, of course, the activities and to know what could be interesting for your beneficiaries. About the environment, so I talk about the Paris agreements and to limit global warming, for example. So you need your project to have a good impact on the environment and to, in order to not, have a bad impact on the global warming, but be careful to not fall into the greenwashing side. As I told you, for example, you want to build a school with wood, but then you're destroying a forest. So, okay, we will plant 100 trees, but on the other hand, you will have a very bad impact on something else. Okay, so another priority theme is vulnerabilities. With the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Once again, it's not that easy, but it is very important to include people with disabilities or refugees or ethnic minorities in the design of your concept note or the design of your project. So once again, don't include just, one person, one disabled person. Okay, I have one disabled person, it's fine. No, you really need to think about how it is possible for your project to be very inclusive to the fullest. And the last one is about human rights. So once again, you have different conventions, and it is absolutely important to respect fundamental freedoms and to reject any violation on human rights. So I believe your organization already has a charter signed by the partners, by your beneficiaries, by the people you're working with. And also, it is important to be careful of the euphemisms, for example, calling violent repression, policing as a international organization or even local one. You need to be aware of this. I will actually show you an example concerning this last case. Okay. So the part 5, NGO's ethical position. What is an ethical NGO? So a definition, it combines expertise in the field with unconditional respect for human rights, even in the face of financial or political pressure. It is important, very important for an NGO as a non-governmental organization to stay neutral and to respect human rights. They have to be at the service of rights. They have to be humanitarian values, and they have to be transparent. It is very important to be transparent, to have reports, to have the possibility for your funders to access to those reports. Because if you don't publish your fundings, it means that, how can I say that? It's not a proof of being honest, if I may say. So it is very important to have independent impact assessments in order to be fair and to prove that, okay, we had this money, we did this with it, and we have nothing to hide, basically. So you can use these grids, the 3P, principles, processes, proofs, to be sure that your project is ethical. So you can ask yourselves, okay, are our values included in the call for projects? Does this call promote the autonomy and well-being of the targets? Have we consulted those concerned? Is the decision-making process collaborative? Can we prove the ethical impact? How do we audit results to verify ethical compliance? All of those questions that you can see on the screen are very important because it will make you think more about the project and how to collaborate also with your partners and to be sure that it will target the beneficiaries through a fair process. Okay, so we're almost reaching to an end. I wanted to talk to you about this case that we had. So I don't know if you heard about the GMED. It's a call for proposals, actually. That is, yeah, it's once a year. And it is conducted by the MEDENSE network. It supports small organizations, actually, not only international organizations, but also local organizations. And so every year we get many propositions, and at the end we have a jury that will choose according to different criteria and everything. So I'm not responsible of this call for proposals, but my colleagues are working on it. But they got this project, and they wanted to share a small extract because this is something that you need to avoid. So, for example, there was this law in 2021 that was criminalizing criticism of the state. So, this is basically a restriction of free speech, of freedom. And the project said it aims to publicize and apply the law of 9 November 2021, which strengthened the legal framework in Mauritania by protecting national symbols, the authority of the state, and the honor of citizens. So basically, we're not saying that you have to be against the state, but you have to be careful, because by saying this, it means that you support the restriction of free speech. For example, we said that problems identified, legitimization of a repressive law, contradiction with human rights, and it's a risk for the NGO because it will make the NGO lost his credibility. So the project was eventually rejected because of this small sentence, actually. What it would have been interesting to do is to reformulate this sentence written in the proposal by something like, this project creates a space for dialogue so that citizens together question the law of 9 November 2021, reflect on what underpins an inclusive nation, and devise ways to reconcile respect for symbols, diversity, and the rights of all. So you see that we are kind of balancing. Okay, there is this law. We're not telling you to be against the state. On the other hand, this law definitely restricts freedom of speech. So we have to balance it, to question it, to try to, understand the effects of it. So what I can tell to summarize, that before proposing a project, it is very important for you to wonder, to ask yourself some very simple questions, like, is the proposal promote international rights, or does it support restrictions? So you have to be very careful also with the vocabulary that you're going to use. Protection of national symbols, protection of citizens, fundamental freedoms, it's different. The vocabulary that you're using can really mean something, And you have to be aware that according to a word, it can also express your idea, not only in a positive way. Okay. So to conclude, I will do a small summary with the key points. So we've seen that it is very important to understand the mechanism. Okay, so we have the calls for proposals, the calls for tenders, and the calls for interest of manifestation. And then we also have different kinds of donors that we need to target. So the public donors, the private donors, multilateral foundations, etc. It is very important also to use tools to source all those proposals and to improve your efficiency. It can be very tiring actually to look for it, so it is better to know and to have in mind different websites, different newsletters, and like this it will help you to use it and to find it. Then also very important to integrate cross-cutting themes. And also, do not forget to ask yourself about the ethical of your project with the principles, the processes, and the proofs. So very concrete actions. So you need to prioritize calls for proposals aligned with your values and expertise. You need to dialogue with communities for inclusive projects. As I said, it is very important to include women or people with disabilities or refugees, according to the context and the country you are living in. And then to audit your proposals with an ethical grid before positioning yourself. Like this, it will also help you to not lose time, actually. Okay, so that would be the end for me. I'm just gonna remind you, if you're interested, we have other modules. The next one is on the 30th of April, project design. Another one on the 13th of May, normative framework and international standards. Another one, 5 keys to a successful call for projects on the 6th of May. And also you can find out more about the different MOOC courses. Okay, so now let's go back to my other screen and the conversation. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask me any questions if you want me to focus on something else, or if you can write in the chat, or you can also talk to me directly, it's fine. Okay, so there is, okay. Wait, sorry. I'm definitely not used to Google Form. Okay, so Wabua, sorry if I mispronounce your name, but go ahead.
Yes, madam, thank you for this beautiful presentation. You did not mispronounce my name. It's Wabua. I am Fogwewango, based in Cameroon. And I wish to say I really enjoyed the presentation, but I have a problem. I was there for the last class, the last session, but up to today I've never received any mail because the way I did to join this meeting was through my colleague. Meanwhile, I had sent my mail already and my number. Since she sent me a Google form to fill, a form which your team sent. So I gave my mail inside and my number, and till now I don't still receive mails from your team. So I'm I'm like worried that what's going on. So I just wish
Okay.
to know.
Okay, so
I wish to.
I apologize for this, but I just wrote down your name and I will tell my colleagues, because if you send your email and your number, you should have got the email back. So I'm sorry for this.
Okay, thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Christian, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the presentation of this module. I'd like to, I'm sorry for, I have to start with my presentation. My name is Christian Dikurio, co-founder, legal representative of the Association Multi Impact based in Burundi. So my question is, as we maybe with the upcoming module, we set on how to prepare a proposal responding to a call for proposal. The most of time, as we say, I've learned a lot with this module, focus on these integrated cross-cutting terms. We was working already with gender and the environment, but we didn't focus on it, was always focusing for resolving the issue we are seeing in our society, in our community. And we didn't see beyond our country, our community. Maybe we can use networking through this new youth empowerment summit or networking with other organizations from Africa. I think that it is a huge opportunity for such organizations like us and to network maybe with our colleagues in this opportunity of meeting and sharing this learning through this model. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think it's also a good opportunity. Actually, this module is registering, so I guess that you will have access to it later on, and like this, you can also check it.
Sorry,
Semela?
sorry. I would like to ask something. With the form which we send on our email, we have registered 2 people, adding me, 3 people to receive the credentials to access on the platform. But I've talked with my colleague, they didn't get yet the credentials. Only myself get the credentials. I don't know how to get access and get the access on the platform and learn more. Thank you so much. And the last thing, is it possible to share with us the calendar in order to plan and be available at unknown time and to assist and to follow the module and the presentation? Thank you so much.
Okay. I will tell my colleagues from the Y.E.S Summit about it. No worries. Semela?
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Babuluki Semela. I'm in Botswana. I'm a Botswana, but actually contracted to the African Union. That's my profession as a communication advisor in different departments. But then also I'm the executive director of Youth for Gender Equality Foundation. I listened to the presentation that I feel and want to believe that was actually speaking to us and was very brilliant. So my question is actually around, during the presentations, I heard that the vocabulary around your response to the call for proposals matters. So my question is, okay, we are in Africa. I do Youth for Gender Equality Foundation, and then by extension, I also represent the marginalized communities. And by marginalized communities, you will be talking about people who are living in rural communities, orphans, and then we also have the LGBTQIA community, which is a serious issue of debate across Africa. When you talk about you are requesting finances to be able to represent the LGBTQI community. in Africa, you are seen as perpetrating something that is foreign to Africa. So I just want to know, for the organizations that are coming to Morocco for the summit to meet the donors, should they shy away from talking about, I want finance or I want to raise funds to raise awareness on the LGBTQI community? The reason why I'm asking for this question is because around August this year, I'll be training people who are vying for political position in Botswana, but it's not only for Botswana people, but it's for all the Africans. And I want to empower young people, women, and even the LGBTQI communities. But we know recently with the appointment of Donald Trump as the president of America, he doesn't believe in funding the LGBTQI community. So the donors that are coming, should the organizations that are coming to Morocco shy away from raising their hand to say, but I stand for the LGBTQI community? That's my question.
Thank you so much for highlighting this issue. It's a very good question, I must say. My recommendation would be to, if you have time, to look, to do a research ahead about the donors, if you already know who is going to be there. Because as you said, some donors, they will not focus anymore on this, on the LGBTQI plus community. You call the Y.E.S with Trump, for example. So I think it's very important to know ahead of it like this, because some foundations still support inclusiveness of all minorities, especially in Europe. So I think it is important to know about the organization you're going to talk to, the foundation you're going to talk to, in order to be able to highlight this or no, if you know what I mean.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Adam?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. This is Bahid Suleiman, and I'm the technical program advisor for the 4U Center for Peace and Development. My question is, some donors use the call for interest as the first stage of, partnership with the some organizations. So my question, if an organization passes, the call for interest, what is the next stage of, the partnership? Because we have just received today, we have passed the first stage of selection process with an organization which used the call for interest, but we are wondering what is the next step. Thank you.
So it depends of the organization, but most of the time, so you sent already your answers to the call for interest, and in case it is positive for you, the organization will contact you. They will reach you because they will want to know more about what you write and how you can do it, with which budget, what kind of indicators. And the thing is, they will ask for more details to be sure that you're the good partner that they're looking for, basically. And so it will start with, I think, several meetings. Maybe they will ask you to details more some parts of the concept note that you sent, or the paper that you send them. And then it depends of the organizations, because some of organizations, they will ask this to several papers they got. So I believe you're not the only one to have answered to this call for manifestation. So maybe they will ask to 3 or 5 to see, okay, how they're going to do it, what are their plans, and to check your relevance and your efficiency. And then it will depend of their process. But basically, if you manage to pass all the process, then they will eventually choose you for being their partner. Okay. Buka Atiaye.
Thank you very much, Ines, for the opportunity and, of course, for the wonderful presentations. That is really, really appreciated. So I asked a question on the chat box asking if there is any possibility of the platform sharing like a monthly funding alert that is relevant to our context in Africa. That will help a lot if that is considered. I don't know, it's fine. That is up to your consideration. Then I was keen to ask, I don't know if it's in the right place to do that, but in the era of AI today, and of course with other premium platforms for funding and all, like what is the ethical consideration to using those in drafting your proposal? I know you have vast experience in this, and possibly you might have come across a question like this before. And again, some people can be very clever while using these tools. From your experience, for those that do use this premium packages and all, including the AI, like what is the success rate, if at all you have an idea? That's it from my end. Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much for your questions. So I'm gonna answer to the first one about the platform that that could gather all these opportunities for the African continent. I'm afraid I don't have the answer because, well, I'm not focusing on the African continent. But what I could tell you is maybe it exists. So you should have a look, maybe to look for it on Google or everything. But then my answer will be linked to another of your question about the different platforms that I told you about to source calls for proposals and calls for manifestation of interest. Then you can put some filters through these platforms, and then you can choose, okay, I'm only interested by calls linked to the African continent, only in this topic like education, or this other one like health. So you can also do that. And about the efficiency, I think once again, it depends of what you want to do and what you're looking for. Because, for example, me, I use funds for NGOs a lot. I found some interesting calls for proposals, but I think it's not the only way. You really need to diversify your way of sourcing. Coordination Sud is nice too, the French one I told you about. I think there is another one, English-speaking one, Relief Web, where you can find jobs and I think maybe opportunities on it. And then also, according to the country you are living in, maybe you can also find a platform focusing on the country. Like, for example, in Lebanon, there is a platform called Dalil Madani, and they have calls for proposals just linked to Lebanon. It's the same for Tunisia with Jamaiti, for example. So, yep, for this, you need to check according to your country and the context. And last question you asked about the artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's funny that you asked this question, actually, because yesterday I just had a meeting with my boss and the different country directors of the MENA region, and we talked about it. It was one of the main topic of this meeting. And Well, I think we can be honest. Everybody is using it now to an extent. It will depend of the person. So I think it's, I mean, me personally, I like to use it to find foundations. For example, I'm eager to connect more with the foundations from the Arabic world, from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia, from Bahrain, all those countries. And it's hard because there is no, I didn't find any websites or any platforms focusing on it. So I just asked ChatGPT if he can find me like 20 foundations from the Gulf or 20 foundations from, you know. So this is helpful for me in this case. Using ChatGPT, for example, or Gemini, while you write proposals, I think more and more people are doing it. I don't know if there is a good answer. You can use it, of course, this is not bad, but I think you also need to double check because ChatGPT, they will give you popular answers from what I've been told and not necessarily the good answer because he is going through all the answers of the amazing world that is internet. So you need to check also behind him. You cannot just copy paste and send it like this. So yeah, I think it can be a support. It can help you, but you still need to be behind it. Like we still need human being, I guess. I hope I answered your questions. Next one, Kotola, Boru Kotola.
Okay, Miss, thank you for this nice and wonderful presentation. My name is Boru Kostova. I'm from Tongva Charity and Development Organization, which is located here in Ethiopia. Works in humanitarian works and youth and support both development and emergency areas. I do have one question. Last time workshop, I was talking with Ashraf. Is there any template Yes Africa can prepare for us to write our proposal, or is there any is there any part of applying on mock? I don't know how to ask this question, but how can the Yes Africa can support us because we prepare the proposal as our organization platform. So, is there any template to write our proposal? So, thank you.
It's a bit noisy behind you, so I'm not sure I heard properly your question, but you're asking me if there is any template or any guide to help you writing proposals?
Yes, you understand me correctly.
Okay. Okay, so for this, the thing is, well, you can find, ChatGPT can help you on this, actually. You can find the main template, but the thing is, according to the organization you're going to apply, according to if it's a private donors or a public one, it is very different. So basically what I can tell you is there is always the part of the description and presentation of your own organization, the context also of the project that you want to implement, your experience, your partners that you may already have. And then you can also add a logical framework with the main objectives, the specific objectives, the activities, results, indicators. Then a part about the beneficiaries, of course. Also another part about monitoring and evaluation, about the impact. But once again, it will really depend. For example, if you want to apply to a European Union proposal, it's huge. It's, I don't know how many pages with lots of specific criteria, specific questions. that you cannot keep. And on the other hand, with private foundations, sometimes they have a template that you can just, start to write on their website. You create an account and you start to fill it, and then you send it. And sometimes they don't even have a template, and they're waiting for you to send them directly with your own template, if I may say, with your own presentation, your own budget, your own logical framework, with, I don't know, a presentation of your organization, for example, with the leaflets. So it really depends. There is no one unique template, unfortunately. That would make the work easier.
Okay, thank you for nice answer. Understand. But for adding another question, in the seminar or when we went there in the Marrakesh, we already have that an application, or we already applied on UN portal and other things. Is that support us for applying or for getting a grant? We already registered on the platforms there.
You mean by you registered to the seminar in June, so does it allow you to have grants? That's what you said?
Yes, yes. Our organization are already registered on their forms, or all of the international like an UN portal and something like that. So that help us to get the grant.
I'm not sure I can answer properly because I'm not in charge of the organization of this summit. But I mean, if you're going to Marrakesh next June, it will help you in terms of networking, because you will meet other organizations, you will meet potential donors. So in that sense, yes, but otherwise, I'm not sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I see also in the chat that there is a question from Kumbe Kumbe Arts. Is an organizational profile directory going to be populated for strategic alignment and collaboration towards proposals? What do you mean? Like a new module, or I don't know if this person is still here.
Sorry, miss, I didn't get you.
Okay. Okay, alors, another question from the chat. Anthony. Thank you for the great presentation. I have also got. You can continue. Okay, is Anthony still here?
Okay, miss, maybe
No.
I
left.
have a
He
bad
left
net.
too? Okay. Okay, so he left. Never mind. I will
So
just.
did you ask me a question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, please can you repeat my question, please, with a big apology?
Can I repeat what?
Yes, can you repeat me?
If you have a question, yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, I don't have any question. I already get a nice answer from you for all of my questions. You can pass over to you.
Okay. Okay. So I see that Semela Babuluki, you still have your hands up. Is it because you have another question? or maybe no. Is Idris Ojoko still here? Idris, is it you?
Yes, I'm around.
Perfect. I saw your question is in the chat about the summit, right?
Yes. Is there anything you didn't understand about the question from the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I'm trying to put across is that considering that we'll be having only 2 days in Morocco to make presentation perhaps, and we're expecting not less than 100 people or 100 representatives of the CSOs in Morocco. How possible is it, if at all, every organization is expected to make presentation or wish to make presentation? How possible is it that every CSO make a presentation looking at the time constraints? And in the case where some organizations or any organization miss out because of the timing, what will happen thereafter?
This is actually a very good question, and I'm afraid I cannot answer because I'm not in charge of the organization of the summit. But if you want, I will ask my colleagues that could answer you. So I wrote your name actually, and I also saw the question of Lesala. So I will try to contact you with an answer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. I see that Richard wants to ask a question, maybe.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Dr. Damo from Kenya. Having gone through the presentation, I hope you will get the chance to share the presentation so that you can get the call for action. But my concern was we are going to encounter about 50 donors. Is there a chance that we can be able to know who those donors are so that we can maybe align our priorities to maybe what they'll be willing to offer?
I'm sorry, Idris, can you turn off your mic, please? And Richard, can you repeat what you just said, please? Sorry, I didn't hear it properly.
I hope I'm audible. I'm just asking, you made a very valid presentation that when we are pitching for donors, we needed to align our priorities to what the donors are offering. Now, is it possible that we can maybe have a prior information on the nature and types of donors we are going to meet? Even better if we can have maybe their specific information so that we can be able to align our priorities before then. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I will tell my colleagues and I will let you know. I'm just writing all those questions down, like info on our donors. Okay. I see another question in the chat from Cisse. So say, I don't know if you're still here, but this is a very interesting question. Yeah, and most of the time the competition is very high and it is very complicated to get the fund. That's why you really need to target the donors. What I mean by this is you have some foundations, for example, they will only fund small organizations. So I don't know about your organization, but if you have a small one, it is important to focus on them because, for example, the UN or, and once again, it depends. It's not completely 100% true, but some, or let's say international donors like the UN or the European Union, they will only support big organizations. So that's what I was also talking about in the presentation, that you need to consider if it's worth it. As a big organization, you're not going to focus on a donor that will only fund small ones, and etc. So that's one first thing. And about the fact that they already selected the partners, I cannot, I mean, I don't know. How do I see that? No, for me, the thing is, it is, and that's also why networking is important, because you need to be identified as an organization ahead of the proposal. So, for example, in my work, I started to contact all UN agencies, not all of them, but like the ones that are interesting for my organization. And even if I'm not gonna work with them like tomorrow, or even if they don't have money now, or even if they are already working on something, but at least I am identified. And it is always a good option to do so, because in the next future, if they want to, they have a call for in a manifest of interest or a call for proposals, and then you apply, they will have you in mind. So I'm not saying that it's already selected, of course not. Sometimes it happens that you talk to some, I don't know, example, UNICEF, you're kind of close to them, and eventually you will not be selected because it has to be done with a fair, under a fair competition. But sometimes, yeah, it's not that they have already selected, but mind. So it may help. I mean, I don't know if I answered correctly, but that's what I can share. So yeah, networking is very important, actually, very important. I know it's it requires a lot of times, and sometimes it's not very it's not about motivation, but sometimes it's just like, why am I doing this? But eventually, hopefully, it will help. Semela, do you have another question? No. Okay, so let me check the chat, but I think I answered all the questions, or that I will go back to you with the answers. Does anyone have another question or something else to share? Okay, so I guess we can say that this module is over, is finished. Just to let you know that I will also participate to another one on the 6th of May about the five keys. What is it? The 5 keys to successful for a successful call for proposal. So if you want to register, and that I'm supposed also to go to the summit in Marrakesh next June. So I may see some of you. Okay, so thank you very much, and maybe see you next week, and if no, good luck and have a very nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.